Now, as we continue in chapter 5, we just ended with the seed of the serpent playing forth, and they built the first city of violence. And then we switched back over to Adam and Eve having another son in place of Abel, and his name is Seth. And now we're going to trace Seth's line down through the generations. And this is the line that carries the promise of the seed of the woman. And we'll see that passed down through every generation. This is the book of the generations of Adam. On the day when God created man, he made him in his likeness of God. He created them male and female, and he blessed them and named them mankind on the day when they were created. When Adam had lived 130 years, he fathered a son in his own likeness, according to his image, and named him Seth. Then the days of Adam after he fathered Seth were 800 years, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days that Adam lived were 930 years, and he died. Then the family line continues from Seth, and Seth passes down the blessing of the seed of the woman to the next generation. Now Seth lived 105 years, and he fathered Enosh. Then Seth lived 107 years after he fathered Enosh, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Seth were 912 years, and he died. Now Enosh is carrying the promise of the seed, and he has a son and passes it to him. Now Enosh lived 90 years and fathered Kenan. Then Enosh lived 815 years after he fathered Kenan, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Enosh were 905 years, and he died. Now Kenan has the promise of the seed of the woman, and he passes it down to the next generation. Now Kenan lived 70 years and fathered Mahalalah. Then Kenan lived 840 years after he fathered Mahalalah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Kenan were 910 years, and he died. Now Mahalalah fathers Jared and passes that seed promise down to him. Now Mahalalah lived 65 years and fathered Jared. Then Mahalalah lived 830 years after he fathered Jared, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Mahalalah were 895 years, and he died. Now Jared is carrying that promise, and he passes it down to his son Enoch. Now Jared lived 162 years and fathered Enoch. Then Jared lived 800 years after he fathered Enoch, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Jared were 962 years, and he died. Now here in this next section, something changes, because every time the other generation passes the promise down to the next generation, and then we see the father pass away, well, this time Enoch has a son, and we're told something different, that Enoch does not pass away. Instead, he walks closely with God, and instead of facing death, God takes him. Now Enoch lived 605 years and fathered Methuselah. Then Enoch walked with God 300 years after he fathered Methuselah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Enoch were 365 years. Enoch walked with God, and he was not, for God took him. Here Methuselah has a son named Lamech, and this is a different Lamech from the seed of Cain, and he passes this blessing down to him. Now Methuselah lived 187 years and fathered Lamech. Then Methuselah lived 782 years after he fathered Lamech, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Methuselah were 969 years, and he died. Here Lamech fathers Noah, looking to him for relief from the cursed ground before exile, as the promise of the seed passes down to Noah. Now Lamech lived 182 years and fathered a son. And he named him Noah, saying, "This one will give us comfort from our work and from the hard labor of our hands caused by the ground which the Lord had cursed." Then Lamech lived 595 years after he fathered Noah, and he fathered other sons and daughters. So all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. Here in this next section, Noah has 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And they're continuing the family line into the next generation, and this is when the narrative picks back up. Now after Noah was 500 years old, Noah fathered Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And then right after this, we lead into the corruption of humanity.